Hello everyone, welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again. It's your monthly tarot readings for your North Node for June 2021. And remember, as always, watch two videos. I want you to watch one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. And keep in mind, if you would like a personal consultation reading, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you're new to the channel and don't know what your North Node is or what it's all about, there's going to be a couple of videos linked in the description box below. So let's get started for this month. Okay, so this is going to be your monthly tarot reading for June 2021 for everybody with their North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. So I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Libra and or the 7th house. So the spread over on this side of the table represents from the first half of the month to the 15th, and this side represents the 16th to the end. So the energy that I'm getting right now, there's this energy, and I saw this in a couple of the other North Nodes, but there's this energy of like wanting to charge forward. And it makes sense with your South Node in Aries under the 1st house. There's this, you have this, airy superpower energy that's in the back in your South Node. And there's this wanting to charge forward. It makes sense, summer is right here around the corner. You got things that are opening up around the country and around the world, and so there's this energy with, you North Node in Libra in the 7th house of like wanting to move forward. And it's good, but here's what I want to, have you look at. The North Node in Libra, the symbol is the scales. Okay, so you got this Justice card, the scales of balance, of like balancing things. And what's really wanting to come up is I feel like for a lot of you, especially this first half of the month, you've been struggling to get into your heart space. There could be old wounds that you're like still nurturing, like old emotional wounds and mental wounds that you're still nurturing. And I feel like some of you like that are further ahead in this energy are the ones that have gotten more emotionally stable and more into their heart. So what I'm seeing is this first half is move forward, but like move forward within your heart space. And the way you're going to make sense of everything that has happened is I feel like you shouldn't even, well, actually, yeah, for you right now, it's not even a good idea to rehash old things, old emotional wounds, old mental wounds, okay? All you need to do is, if it comes up into your consciousness, keep it clear. Because I know, like, you North nodes in general, North nodes in Libra, and the seventh house, with that Aries energy you have in your South node and that first house energy, you're like no BS people, a lot of you. Okay, so let me just keep this really simple. This isn't a time to rehash, as I said, old emotional or mental wounds or things that happen, issues. It's a time to look at it and say, if anything, okay, what part did I take, in what way did I take part in this energy? In what way did I even cause this energy? Okay. And don't beat yourself up, but definitely don't beat up the other side. Okay. Because remember, everything we experience in one way or another, we are creating. Okay. This is, as a good for you to keep in mind. Okay. Life is not happening to you. Life is not happening to me. Okay. We are experiencing life, but we are interacting with it in the past, in the present, all the time through our lives. We're interacting. We choose certain roads. We choose certain directions. We choose people. We choose jobs. We choose all of this, okay? And so even, if you've gone through something where it seems like you didn't choose it, like let's say someone, a child who's born into an abusive family, what I have to say about that is this. I'm not even going to get into the fact, because some people can't wrap their head around that, we've chosen things from past lives and, it's what we need to experience. And I get it. If you don't want to go that route and say, okay, if you don't want to, at the ultimate level, we do have gone down certain paths and things have happened to us because of karma and decisions that we made. But if you can't handle, dealing with that, that's okay. Just remember this. Remember that it doesn't matter why something happened. It doesn't matter who's to blame or who's not to blame. What matters is it happened. So the best way to deal with it just to stay angry and resentful your whole life? Is the best way to deal with to just not deal with it? Or is the best way to say, okay, this happened. I realized that I did take part in manifesting this, and I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to beat someone else up. I'm just going to deal with it. Because remember, in this lifetime, a lot of what you're learning, if not all of it, has to do with relational issues. Your relationship to others. You have your South Node in Aries of the first house, the self, you, the person, you are you're number one, as opposed to Libra, which is others, which is other people's opinions, which is working with others, our connection to others, okay? So if anything that's happened, I would say don't even go there, and just realize, okay, it happened. Now, what is your best way forward? Your best way forward is don't blame yourself, don't blame others, but just look at what part you had to play in it and learn from that and make necessary changes. Because until you can do that, bottom line, don't use force. Using force in life, and not only physical, physical force, mental force, emotional force, using force, you have to be very careful, okay, with doing that. It's more, what is the opposite of force is it's non-action, but it's non-action, it's reflection. Okay, so something happens, the Aries first house energy is, I must do something about it. I must attack it with force in some way. As opposed to something happened, it's like standing back, pausing for a moment, reflecting on what has taken place, what is unfolding right before you, and then taking appropriate action. Because when you come from that place and it's not so reactionary, you're realizing, okay, I could see this person did this and, this and that. And, and I chose this path. And so, and it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but by doing it, it's going to make your life a lot better and a lot easier in the long run. Okay. So like you're going to be dealing with that. And then I'm seeing for the second half of the month, I'm saying there's going to be there could be some minor disruption, minor to major disruption in your life. And like I said, for everyone with their north nodes in the same sign or house, you're going through similar energies, but it's reflected in different ways. Okay. And it's reflected in, it could be like for one person, it's like, I've got to deal with, let's say a major car issues. And then you got to scramble money together, or it could be something, more major. Maybe there's like some health thing, or it's for different people where you go through it and it's based on where you are on your personal path. But the energies and the lessons are very similar a lot of times. Okay. So I'm looking at this, disruption that could go on, and you could feel like it's disrupting your plans moving forward in the future. So something where you've got a game plan, but it's being disrupted in some way or delayed. Okay. And what you want to do is you're going to want to not walk away from it emotionally. Like there could be an energy of just kind of like throwing up your arms like, oh, well, or like this whole of just like a blow up, but almost like an emotional blow up, or just kind of like the feeling of wanting to walk away for something and turn your back on it. And what you want to do is you want to deal with it in a reflective way. So the disruption happened. How can I, as opposed to just completely walking away from it or blowing up, how can I deal with it and move away and think of navigating away from the trouble, as opposed to a more reactive way of just walking away. And again, what's really going to help you is, and this is really interesting, this is coming up for a lot of the signs. I've at least 2 or 3 other of the north nodes this is coming up with. It's this internal and external energy of the mother, or maternal energies that are coming up, the energy of the matriarch. So think of anyone that, has your back, that is a maternal figure in your life from your actual mother. Or if you don't have that, a maternal figure, it could be like an aunt or a friend even that you're the same age, but she's, giving you, that the person's giving you the maternal type of a wise maternal vibe, or it could be a grandma, So I'm seeing again, what's going to help you is when you're dealing with an issue, think of what would this wise maternal figure tell me to do and how to deal with it. And it might be a lot different than your initial thoughts on how to deal with it or react to it. So it's an interesting way of looking at, okay. So just really use that as a whole thought process. This happens, so just for fun, I'm going to think, how would this maternal figure, or even a wise mother or grandmother, tell me to deal with this issue? And it's almost like you're getting this, and you could physically, if you have a kind of person like this in your life, definitely consult with them. But it's this energy of, why do I say maternal as opposed to paternal energy? Well, that's what's coming up. But it's, the fatherly or grandfatherly type of advice is coming from a different place than a motherly or grandmotherly type of advice. And both are valid at different times, but this is definitely dealing with it from a more emotional heart space of, you've got, the positive and negative polarities, playing out here. So you're definitely going to want to go this route. So when this disruption happens and it feels like it's messing with your plans moving forward, whatever those plans might be, deal with it and move forward from it with grace, and think of navigating away from it while you're learning and reflecting from it. Okay. But I feel like if you could do this for a lot of the excuse me, north nodes this month, there's a lot of breakthrough energies, and it's like this is kind of setting us all up. So all the north nodes, it's all setting us up for the next 6 months and moving on into like next year. So anyway, I hope this reading resonated with you. I hope you felt a connection to it. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing, sharing some time with me and helping me grow the channel. Much love, much appreciation. Many blessings.